on a stormy night. So thank you for joining me on this wonderful, dark, stormy night. Now, I'm going to be talking about a movie which is my favourite horror movie of all time, and that is The Exorcist. Now, this movie came out in 1973, and I don't think I've seen a horror movie as good since. The reason I loved it was because of its slow pace and the fact that it doesn't just jump straight into a possession as such. What happens is it's about this mother who is an actress, and she's staying in Georgetown with her 12-year-old daughter Reagan. And her daughter Reagan finds an Ouija board in the basement of this house that they're renting, and accidentally sums up a demon which slowly starts taking her over. But it's the slow pace that I loved, because when it first happens, first she just starts acting strange, but then all of a sudden her bed starts shaking and pounding, and she's being thrown into the air off of the bed, and it is terrifying to watch. But the thing is she takes her to doctors, and they just blame it on a lesion in the temporal lobe, which can cause seizures and things. So they look at it in all these different ways, like it could be seizures or schizophrenia or anything like that, like a mental thing. Eventually, when all this stuff keeps going on and she's getting worse, she goes to a priest called Father Karras, and he agrees to see her, but only as a psychiatrist. He doesn't want to see her as anything else. And as he's seeing her, she's doing all these things. She makes a drawer open by itself. He sprays holy water, splashes holy water on her, and she reacts to it. It burns. And the water turns out to just be normal tap water that hasn't been blessed. So he says that's not a strong case for possession, Eventually, she starts saying something, and it turns out to be English, but in reverse. So eventually, he's pretty convinced, plus the state of her as well, She looks absolutely terrible. But yeah, so they then get another priest called Father Merrin, who is played by the brilliant Max von Sydow, and he comes over and performs the exorcism with Father Karras. And this is what I love as well, because it was made back like in 1973. In her room, it's incredibly cold, and they've got steam coming out of their mouths, and it's real steam. What they did is they put loads of air conditioning units in the room and let them run until the room was completely freezing cold. So everything they're doing is freezing cold. It's really proper cold in there, which is great. they start performing the exorcism, and the demon gets really angry and aggressive and insulting, and says the most terrible, vile things. And then eventually, the demon starts getting to Father Karras by pretending that her mother is there with him. Karras then starts sort of hallucinating, seeing his mum actually on the bed, who dies in the movie earlier on. And so Father Merrin says, look, go out and leave this to me. The next thing is Karras is sitting on one of the stairs, and he sort of composes himself, and he goes back in, and there on the floor is Father Merrin. He's died of a heart attack, and Reagan is just sitting there with her fingers in her mouth, laughing, laughing about it. Now Father Merrin is a boxer as well, and so he grabs Reagan, pins her to the ground, and starts punching the demon and telling it to come into him. Get out of her, come into me. All of a sudden, there's this like mist that comes up out of Reagan's body, and it goes into Father Karras. So he is now possessed. He starts slowly walking towards Reagan, and she's on the floor now because she's now fine, and she's crying and sort of curled up. And then he just says no, and he breaks out of it and jumps out of the window, and it's a really, really high bedroom window, and there's these steps that go on forever, and he rolls and pounds down all these steps, and he's then laying there dying, and a priest comes, and he's like holding his hand, and he slowly passes away. Then it sort of cuts after to the actress and Reagan finally leaving the house, because she's made the movie and everything, and the priest is there, and he has a necklace that belonged to Merrin, and he gives it to the little girl, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek, and they drive away, and you finally sort of get that sense of all is well again, thank goodness, especially with the director's cut, because at the end there's a police officer, a detective, that is investigating all the crimes that she's been committing throughout, and they have this little funny chat at the end, and it makes the film a lot better to watch, because it gives you that sense that finally everything's back to normal. But yeah, what a brilliant film, guys. It's absolutely amazing. If you've never watched it, please watch it. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And as I said, definitely my favourite horror film of all time. I do like The Entity as well, which I did in the last video, but this is The Exorcist. If there's any movies you would like me to talk about, guys, then please let me know in the comments and I will gladly do it. But in the meantime, So